not only our home, but our mother. Wendell Berry says it well in How to Be a Poet, to remind myself, there are no unsacred places. There are only sacred places and desecrated places. In short, the ecological crisis is also a crisis for Buddhism, as it is for all other religions, insofar as they devalue this world in favor of some supposed higher and better reality. In response to our urgent situation, it is necessary to clarify its essential message. In this regard, Buddhism, the path of awakening, must itself awaken. As Thanissara emphasizes, this issue demands the best of all of us. In place of business as usual, life as usual, today we are all called upon to become bodhisattvas or eco-sattvas and participate in what Joanna Macy calls the Great Turning. My thanks to Thanissara for this book and for all her work to turn us in that direction. David Loy, Niwot, Colorado. Introduction. This is a book I would have preferred not to write. I would have liked to write something lighter, happier, and more innocent. I would have liked to walk you through a serene wooded landscape, but instead I ask you to look with me at a burnt and tortured earth, with its polluted rivers, dying oceans, razed forests, devastated wastelands, and its litany of extinct species. I particularly invite my Dharma friends to take this walk with me, especially those of us who would like our mindfulness and meditation practices to render us immune from the impact of a burning world. However difficult the reality, at the end of the day, just as the Buddha encouraged in his teaching of the first noble truth of the fact that human beings suffer, it's always better to face the truth of our precarious situation rather than avoid it. In doing so, we can explore the causes of suffering and realize solutions, as in the second and third truths. The simple truth that craving leads to suffering, and when we stop craving, our suffering ceases. We can also cultivate resilience while engaging in effective response, as in the fourth truth, with its right action, informed by wisdom, insight, mindfulness, focus, compassion, and skillfulness. Generally speaking, unlike the historical Buddha, who brought about radical systemic change within the society in which he lived, the institution of present-day Buddhism tends to be a conservative force, which seeks a transcendent inner path rather than one of outward engagement. Over the last several decades, Western Buddhist movements have been busy cultivating personal enlightenment journeys and building centers, monasteries, and sanghas in which to walk our individual paths. Alongside these activities, we have been finding ways to bring the Dharma into contemporary contexts, which, besides translating texts, writing, and teaching, involve adapting the Dharma to new issues, psychologies, and cultures. While we've had a positive impact on our surrounding communities, we haven't really felt the need to become activists focused on changing the system. If we moved into engaged Buddhist practice, it was largely ministering in areas that are byproducts of systemic inequality. For example, addressing psychological pain due to the generational trauma of the wounding systems we live in. We have yet to come to terms with centuries of injustices that perpetuate systemic suffering and therefore need to be addressed systemically as well as collectively. By necessity, such a reckoning has to move Dharma practice beyond a personal introversion and quietism. Everything is now changing very fast. Our personal journeys are intersecting with the global evolutionary arc of colossal proportions.